Hey everybody, this is Emmett here with the What's Up Solar podcast. I know I've changed my background a little bit. I thought I'd spice it up, but I got some awesome people. Wesley Muscleman, Director of Proposals at Solo.io. Wesley serves as Director of Proposals at Solo.io, where he has spent nearly 7 years helping shape and scale the company's proposals operations. Over that time, he's worked across multiple roles. People have to be busy from designer to trainer to manager, now director, giving him a comprehensive view of how quality or high quality solar proposals drive success and projects and strong customer experience. Through his career, Wesley has focused on improving proposal quality, building scalable processes, and developing teams that consistently deliver better outcomes for partners and customers. His experience has gone across design, training, and leadership, and this has allowed him to refine the system that helps solar companies move faster while maintaining accuracy and professionalism. What's up, man?
How's it going, Emmett?
It's going good. Uh, we were just talking about the weather. So where I am now, it's pretty windy, and you said it's like 80 degrees out west in Utah.
Yeah, today it's funny. Today's like 75, Sunday's going to be 48, and then Wednesday's going to be 82. So that's what we're experiencing here in Utah right now. Just snow's melting. Snowboarders and skiers aren't too happy, but
Yeah.
the warm weather lovers are loving it.
So let me ask you, let me just start this. I'd like to know about what got people to where they are. How did you join or how did you find Solo?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. I was going to college, and it seemed like a solid move just to kind of get me through college, and kind of saw the vision early on, and so pushed myself a little bit more in the workspace than the school space, and realized that school was kind of lacking, and I was focusing more of my attention on the work side, and then opportunities started to present themselves. So I kind of put school to the side a little bit and pushed all my focus towards solo. And then things kind of got crazy with COVID and everything. The company just grew exponentially faster than we could even keep up. So they kind of tasked me with making sure that we were maintaining solid SLAs during that time, training up
Yeah.
new hires, and just trying to stay ahead of everything. And so it kind of stole all of my attention. And so just worked my way up and continue to work hard. And I guess they saw enough value in me that they continue to promote me.
So you've been with this from like the ground up, it seems.
Yeah, when I started with Solo, there was seven designers, two developers, and then just the founders. So it was a solid group of maybe less than 15 people. And within the first year that I was there, we 4x'd in size, and then doubled, the year after that, and just continued to grow. My team at one point got as high as about 230 proposal designers that
Hmm.
myself was over managing schedules, making sure that queues were taken care of, making sure our customers were taken care of. So yeah, it's been a wild roller coaster, and then obviously how the solar industry's been. We with NEM and things like that, things kind of took a turn, so we've had to pivot and make adjustments. But we're really optimistic about this year. So far, things are looking really good.
So you're on a double roller coaster. You're on the solar coaster and your own roller coaster as well. You,
Yes, yes, sir.
one thing about proposals, a lot of people don't think about it till they need it. And I was just wondering when it comes to these proposals, where do things slow down for people? Y- Because depending on if you're in residential or commercial, things happen. Design changes, internal handoffs, customer revisions. How does that affect closing rates?
Yeah, and it's different across different companies. You obviously have your enterprise companies. They have dedicated in-house design specialists that can make those adjustments for their sales reps. You have smaller companies that, rely 100% on solo to make that happen.
Hmm.
Um, so we kind of pride ourselves in where solo kind of took off, 4 or 5 years ago was our ability to return a proposal to a sales rep in, under 10 minutes. And as a sales rep, it's very important if you're talking on the doorstep and you've piqued interest in solar from that customer, you want to be able to show them something and start showing them numbers as quick as possible. And so we provided an experience where, if a customer was interested, they could request a proposal right there with the homeowner,
Mm.
talk for 8 to 10 minutes about, maybe their roofing situation, whatever it might be, and then a proposal was back in their hands. They could run over numbers. And then our revision process was even quicker. So if the homeowner's sitting there and they're like, hey, we actually have this shed in the backyard, we want to see what modules look like on that. They can then, request that revision in 2 to 3 minutes. There's modules on the shed and those numbers have updated in real time and then they can go through the entire process right there on the proposal. They can do all their financing, everything. It really is a sales enablement tool, and that was kind of our focus early on. Is we want the founders of the company were in solar sales, so they experienced those bottlenecks early on, and they kind of got together and they were like, how can we provide a better experience for sales reps? So that was kind of the driving factor of Solo and why Solo was created, was to provide a better experience for the EPCs and the sales reps that are actually, out grinding, knocking doors and doing that kind of stuff.
Now, I think I made a mistake. So, what is the website for Solo?
So it is solo.io.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what all services do you provide? Because the way I'm listening to it, it's more than just proposals.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the proposal kind of encompasses everything. We have a lot of financial integrations with the biggest lenders out there. On the TPO side, we have LightReach and GoodLeap. We just
Mm.
spun Participate, which is a big PPA that a lot of sales reps are interested in. So we're trying to stay right out in front of everything. We want to make sure that as these new products are hitting the market, that we're the first ones to get them integrated into our platform. Because as you know, the solar industry, I mean, back during COVID when interest rates were basically nothing, incentives were through the roof. TPO wasn't even a thing, and then you have the big beautiful bill and things like that, and then TPO becomes the leader. So we've always had a strategic approach and looking forward to those things and making sure that we're building the right connections with the right financial integrators so that as those things happen, we have them in our platform and sales reps can start selling them immediately.
So, is this primarily for residential, or do you do residential, commercial, industrial as well?
Yeah, we dabble in the commercial side. We don't do huge commercial projects, but we can support projects up to about 300 modules, which is a majority of the commercial projects that we
Yeah.
see. If they get larger than that, the system isn't currently equipped to be able to handle that, but we do see a lot of commercial projects come through, but we target all of our marketing towards residential.
I bet you're starting to see more commercial projects come through. But I was wondering, what happens behind the scenes when proposals need to be redone or changes? What's the timetable? And what's the cost to the business?
Yeah, we obviously want to try to avoid revisions at all costs, and I think that companies want to avoid them as well. So our approach is we try to give our customers just a max fit design. We try to max out every single plane that we can see within the imagery.
Yeah.
So at that point, the sales rep can go in, they can toggle off modules that they don't want. They actually have the ability to add modules themselves or remove modules themselves. So we've tried to kind of eliminate any need for revisions. But you also, sales reps, their specialty is selling. Their specialty isn't designing. So most of the time, we see those sales reps still request a revision because they know that we can get it back to them in 2 to 3 minutes. Where even though it's a simple change, it's probably going to take them 7 to 10 minutes just because they don't possess that experience. And our designers, our average tenure on my design team is 4 years. So we've done a really good job at retaining the same level of performance over the past, 4 years. And so we have, the utmost confidence and trust in the team to be able to fulfill those requests and get them back as quickly as possible.
So does this include battery as well and backup for these proposals?
Yeah, we're actually getting really, really close to launching an instant battery only proposal. that's literally going to be the click of a button. It's not going to require any overhead from my team. We have a couple companies in starting beta right now, but we're looking at launching that hopefully early Q2,
Mm.
because that's obviously becoming a big deal as well. A lot of these sales reps are going back to homeowners that have systems, and it's a very easy sell for a lot of sales reps. So we're working on being able to spin up
Oh.
an instant proposal that literally you just put in the customer's information and it spits you out a battery only proposal. They can select how many they want, backup. All that will be, within the proposal. And like I said, it won't require anything from my team or any overhead from our end. They can just spin it up themselves on their side.
So what are the deliverables that you provide in the proposal? So I know you can probably do a cost analysis. You can see where the modules are. What else comes with that?
Yeah, so it's gonna break down everything. So you have the system size, you have the module that's being used, inverter that's being used, what the output is. It shows a graph of what their utility usage is, and then it shows what the solar based off of which modules they have activated, how they're going to perform. And then as you select the different finance options, all the numbers and quotes and incentives will update in real time. So, and it is a
Mm.
live link. So the proposal that we provide to sales reps is a live link. So if they're on the phone, maybe they're trying to sell it on a Zoom call, they
Yeah.
can send that link to the homeowner. The homeowner can open that proposal and they can go through those options and they're going to update in real time on the homeowner side. So they can kind of follow through during that quoting process,
Yeah.
make sure that they're getting, the best deal possible.
Does this do shading analysis as well?
Yes, we have a very,
What?
very um,
What?
intense shade analysis. We use a DSM point cloud to pull our shade analysis. It's extremely accurate. We did a DMV report a few years ago where we took a thousand installed systems and ran them against our DSM point cloud, and it came back at like 100.6%. So it's extremely accurate. And then we also have the ability to download shade reports and DXF files once a proposal is completed as well.
So what's the verification? Let me digress a little bit. So design verification. I know you're popping stuff out, but you have a design verification that is a part of your platform. So
Correct.
how is that performed and how is it beneficial?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this question, Emmett, because this our design verification process is either loved by our current customers or hated by our current customers. And I want to talk about it because we really need everybody to love it because it is a process that nobody else offers. And the reason that we offer is because we know that TPO is taking over the market, and there is a financial risk that comes with selling TPO because they need to make sure that the system that they're approving is going to perform at the the expectation that's been set. So we've implemented a system where if you go the TPO route, we're going to say, hey, we're just going to, you know, do this internally for you. We're going to double check this proposal that's been built because we allow a lot of modifications to be done once a
Yeah.
proposal is completed. And if those modifications are going to affect the integrity of the output, then we just want to go in and make sure that the homeowner and the financer is protected. So we're going to go in and we're going to rebuild that proposal. And we have a dedicated team of design verification agents. They've all been here for over 5 years. They're extremely experienced. And we also audit their work just to make sure that they continue to perform at that high level. But they'll go in and just verify that the production is accurate. And if it's not accurate, they'll adjust the proposal and we'll leave a stipulation on the proposal that says, hey, whatever adjustments you made brought this job outside of, let's say, Light Reach's tolerance. And so Light Reach isn't going to accept this. And we don't want this to be an issue for you when you get to NTP. Like we want you to be able to resolve this with the homeowner now. And we have about a 17-minute turnaround for design verification. So if a job enters design verification, we can typically get that job verified within 17 minutes. And now the sales rep knows if it gets approved, they don't have to worry about that bottleneck down the
Mm.
road. And that's the biggest thing with TPO is change orders. Nobody likes change orders. But what we're trying to accomplish with the design verification is if you are going to have a change order, we'd rather you experience that within the first 24 hours of the sell rather than 2 weeks down the road when, Light Reach or Good Leap is looking at it and they're like, this doesn't look right. And now trying to go back to the homeowner when they already have an install date, that's going to be a lot harder to say
Yeah.
that. So that's the purpose of design verification. It's a very unique service that we spun up a couple years ago, and it's worked extremely well, and we've had a lot of success with it.
Do you guys include balance of system in your proposals too, such as combiners and main panel upgrades or things like that?
Yeah, we support all of that.
I'm just like, wow. So I can say, here's what I have. Give me something back.
Yeah, it really is a one-stop shop for solar sales reps. And we're also we're getting really close to attacking some of the other vertical markets like roofing, obviously battery only we talked about. We're really close with an HVAC proposal. So we want to be a one-stop shop for all energy efficiencies and improvements.
And that's what I was about to ask, because this seems like it can be integrated with other service-based industries, and if that was on the table or part of your plan.
Yeah, we want to be the one-stop shop for for anything and everything. So anything energy efficiency related, even all the way to windows. Obviously, our focus right now is battery only roofing and HVAC. Those seem to be the highest demand based off of some of the webinars that we've done. Most of the feedback is in those areas,
Yeah.
but we're working on a template where essentially reps can create a template for anything that they're trying to sell. So we want to be able to provide, like I said, a one-stop shop for everything. And we want sales reps to be able, if they show up at the sale at a customer's home and they're like, well, we need to get a roof first. Perfect. We're going to bundle the roofing and the
Oh.
system into one. And now you don't have to worry about two separate payments, two separate quotes. So we're trying to just be able to bundle all that together.
So before proposals go out, how confident are teams about accuracy? I know we've talked about, you have the verification, but does the level of accuracy affect the sales conversation with the homeowners?
Yeah, we want to give when they we call it our concierge service. That's when proposals are requested from my team, and we want to really give them a white glove service. We know
Mm,
that proposals aren't cheap, so we want the proposal to have everything and be accurate. Like I said, the tenure of my team is about 4 years on average right now, so they've had more time than most people in this world designing strictly solar proposals. They're extremely good at it.
yeah.
And then on top of that, we have a really rigorous auditing process. So we audit 25 jobs per agent on a biweekly basis. And this helps us discover a few things. One, it helps us discover where agents might be struggling. It helps us understand which states might have a lower accuracy. And then we can kind of look into the system and see if maybe it's the system, if it's a designer, if it's a training thing. And it also lets us look at which companies are performing better than others. And then we can go look at that company's best practices and be like, oh, this is a little confusing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these errors that we're seeing from our agents is just because this wording just needs to be changed a little bit. We can make those adjustments and then retrack it during the next biweekly audit, and we see tremendous success. We always see those numbers jump up. So our agents know that they're being held accountable. We trust them, we love them. But just because, they have 4 years of experience, we don't just expect that they're not gonna, they're still humans and they're gonna make
Yeah.
mistakes.
And
And they
things
know
change
that.
too.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, it's crazy. Like Solo is just it's evolved. Like every week, I feel like there's new automations, there's new feature releases. Like
Mm.
even for myself, just trying to keep up with everything and then get that information to my team, make sure they know how to use it, make sure that they're utilizing it so that, we can speed things up, make things more accurate. It's absolutely wild, but I love my team. They do a great job.
Are you attending any conferences this year? This year, years ago, it used to be like 5 conferences a year. Now there's one every other week and sometimes multiple in one week in different parts of the country. So are you going to be live anywhere?
That's a good question. After this podcast, I might be. As of today, right now, There's no plans. I know that we plan on sending individuals. We will have individuals at all these conferences. We had people at the HVAC conference in Las Vegas a few weeks ago. We're attending everything and anything because we
Yeah.
want to get the name out there. We want to understand what people are looking for, what people's needs are. Now, in terms of me being out there, like I said, after this, after Tom gets word of this podcast, he might be sending me out on a plane to visit some of these. But as of right now, not me, but there will be solo
Uh,
representatives at all these.
there you go. So, one last thing. What is Solo Studio?
Yeah, this is where things get really fun, Emmett. So the customers have asked and we've delivered. And Solo Studio gives sales reps, companies the ability to access our highly intelligent, efficient, accurate tool that we've been using to spit out proposals for 4 years, and now they can get in and do it themselves. This is
Mm,
this is particularly helpful for larger companies that have, in-house design teams that they're already paying, because it's going to be half the cost, and in some situations even less than half the cost. And they have all the same access to the DSM, the point cloud, all the automations that my team currently has access to. And for those experienced designers, they're going to be able to go in, create designs in under 5 minutes. We have everything set up as role based. So when companies integrate or
mm,
decide to sign up for Solo Studio, owners can go in and say, I want these sales reps to have access to Solo Studio, but these not to. And they just to make sure that they're covering their bases, make sure that they don't have inexperienced sales reps going in and generating proposals and racking up a bill. So they have they have extreme flexibility over how they want to leverage Solo Studio, but we're really, really excited about it. Studio is one of those products that is advancing all the time. I mean, the automations from a month ago to today are absolutely incredible. I know that we're going to be releasing some marketing material here soon on how we're able to generate a solo proposal, an accurate solo proposal in under a
good.
minute and a half. And we're working at even speeding that up even quicker. I mean, we want to be able to get sales reps proposals in 30 seconds or less. And we have the right team. Our developers are amazing. Our product team's amazing. Everybody understands the vision. Everybody knows what needs to happen to get there. And like I said, every week I'm testing out new features,
Good.
grooming new features, vetting new features, just to make sure that they're ready to hit the market and we're ready to give them to our customers. So we're really excited about Solo Studio. Like I said, the customers have been asking for that for a long time. They want control. They want to do everything themselves, and
Yeah.
we've delivered. We want to give it to give it to you. And if you do run into any bottlenecks, our concierge service is still there to back you up and support you. So if you get into a job and it's taking you a long time, it's complicated, our designers are extremely experienced. They can knock it out in under 8 to 10 minutes and get it back to you. So, but yeah, Solo Studio is super exciting. It's a very advanced tool. We have a handful of customers that are already in it, building proposals, providing feedback on what they want to see, what they like, what they don't like, and we're just continuing to tailor that tool to make it the ultimate sales experience.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the What's Up Solar podcast because people need to know these things. They need to,
Absolutely.
everybody, the general public thinks that solar is just modules. They don't understand the warehouse that goes into it. They don't understand the logistics. They don't understand the policies. And then there's the whole sales channel that needs its support too. And um, thank the universe for folks like you who can support that. So I want to thank you so much for being on the What's Up Solar podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me, Emmett. I agree. There's a lot of unknowns in the solar industry, and I feel like these conversations need to happen more often so, people can understand, why there's bottlenecks like the design verification process. Like I said, half the people love it, half the people hate it. But if everybody understood it, everybody would love it. So I think these conversations are super important. I appreciate you having me.
No problem. Now give me the website one more time and where everybody can find you.
Solo.io.
It's that simple.
That
Sold.
simple. Yeah, and there it's a very interactive website. We have a help desk articles, so get in, schedule a demo. Our sales team's amazing. We just have really great individuals here at Solo. Everybody's super motivated, dialed in, locked in, and we're ready to continue to grow this thing.
Cool. Now remember, everybody, we are going through some changing times, especially in the solar industry. Last year everybody just went, ah, and we're figuring it out. Basically what happened was they took the training wheels off the industry and we have to survive on our own. But there's one cool thing that will never ever change about solar, and it revolves around this thing that we all kind of worship, which is the sun. And you know what the sun won't do? It will never send you a bill. Till next time, love you all. Peace.